Hi, this short video gives an overview of Chapter 6, which is all about markets, segmentation, targeting and positioning. Basically, target marketing, that concept involves identifying smaller, more targetable market segments and then tailoring the marketing mix to best appeal to those segments. So once the market's been segmented or chopped up into smaller bits, the organisation then assesses the potential of each segment in order to decide which segments to target, so which ones to really go for with their marketing strategies, and also work out how to best position products in that specific target segment or target market. So what is the market? The market is a group of customers with heterogeneous needs and wants. Heterogeneous being different. And the concept of target marketing is really based on identifying, understanding and developing an offering for a specific segment or specific segments of the total market that the organisation can best serve. So production-oriented organisations see everyone as the same and are basically similar, and so therefore they practice mass marketing. Market-oriented oriented organisations see everyone as different, and so they practice target marketing, where they group like customers together and then target them. There's been a real shift away from mass marketing in recent years. If you imagine 100 years ago, there was definitely a mass market for milk. There was very little differentiation. Even 20 years ago, there was very little differentiation, and milk really was a mass marketed product. You only have to go down into the milk section of the supermarket these days to see that now the milk market has been definitely segmented in different groups and products developed for specific target segments. So for example, your lactose-free milk, your almond milk, your low fat, your semi-skim, your skim. I mean, the list is endless. So basically there's undifferentiated, one-to-one and differentiated marketing. That's the main sort of manifestation you'll see of this. So mass marketing, as mentioned before, is really having one marketing mix targeting one big market. So there's no modifications, there's nothing, just a standard product. Here it is to an overall market. One-to-one marketing is very much differentiated marketing and often involves high levels of customization. So if you look on websites like Etsy, you'll see that they're really targeting individuals with their products, with the delivery, even with the relationships that they develop. In the consumer market, the most commonly seen is target marketing, where you'll see companies developing separate marketing mixes for separate segments of the market. The soft drink industry is a good example of this. So you can see how, for example, Solo lemon soft drink is targeted differently, for example, to Lift. It's also a lemon soft drink. It's not that much different, but they're definitely developing different strategies to target different segments of the market. So you might want to think about that. Take a moment. You can pause this video, of course, and have a really good think if you like. So mass marketing, common wants, needs and demands. Single product will meet the needs of most people with an undifferentiated approach. You've got large volumes of these products being put onto the market, generally low cost per unit, and milk, bread and petrol used to be mass marketed. Even now in petrol you'll have a larger variety than there used to be 20 years ago. It was just petrol and maybe diesel if you were lucky, but now there's a much broader range of petrols that you can choose. One-to-one marketing, unique customized offering to meet individual customer needs, usually involves higher unit costs because you're not getting economies of scale, a more restricted market, and a focus on niche strategy. An example, Etsy. There's a web link there to Etsy. If that doesn't work, just Google Etsy and you'll see what it's all about. A differentiated targeting strategy, as mentioned before, is where you develop a marketing mix for each market segment. And market segmentation, so that's actually dividing that market up into segments, forms the basis of target marketing. A differentiation strategy does usually entail higher costs and usually requires high retail prices, high market share, and really strong customer loyalty as well. So here we have the process as a whole. Firstly, we have in the green oval there segmentation. You need to divide the market using different variables, which we'll discuss in a moment. Then we have to decide and evaluate which segments are the most likely to be profitable or most suitable for our organization. Then we'll select 1, 2, 3 or more, and then we have to work out, okay, how do we want our product offering or value, service, idea to be positioned within that particular segment. And once that's been determined, develop a marketing mix to actually achieve that positioning for each segment. So market segmentation, characteristics that buyers have in common and that might be closely related to their purchasing behavior. So we're looking at the green area first. There's demographic, geographic, psychographic and behavioral, and effective segmentation involves choosing segmentation variables that are easy to measure, readily available and linked closely to the purchase of the product in question. So there's no use dividing the market into people with blue eyes and brown eyes if it's not having any effect on their purchase behavior whatsoever. The next few slides go through these in more detail, and I do suggest that you review these in your own time. So you can pause this video and read through these. We have discussed business markets in Chapter 5. With business market segmentation, you'll often see more customized and one-to-one marketing because of those relationships we also mentioned. And these are the criteria again for effective segmentation: measurable, accessible, substantial, and practical. To be effective in terms of developing an offering for a particular segment, it's useful to develop a market segment profile. This does require significant market research and really describes the typical potential customer in the segment. And so rather than just using one variable, they might use a combination, like female of a certain age, within a certain lifestyle, with a certain type of job, and living in a certain geographic area. So that might be narrows it down quite a lot, but that's often a very effective way to really profile your segment. Of course, market segments must be sufficiently different from others so a distinctive offer can be created for each segment without the risk of overlapping or sending confusing messages. So market targeting, so now we're into the purple bit, we've just finished the green bit. Market targeting is a selection of target markets resulting from an evaluation of those identified market segments. So we've segmented the market. Now we're looking at, okay, which ones are the most profitable. Now there's an example of the denim jeans market. Again, I'm going to skim over this fairly quickly, but of course you can pause this video and take your time thinking about some of these concepts. But if you think about the jeans market, there's lots of different brands of jeans. And they give us a good example in terms of how markets can be segmented. So we have different brands like Levi's, Roxy, R.M. Williams, and of course designer labels such as True Religion, as well as some of the jeans that are sold through discount outlets like Big W, Target, Best and Less, and so forth. If we look at Levi's and look at that link there, they've got traditionalist, classic independent styles, utilitarian, trendy casual, and their price shopper. That's who they're sort of targeting in their segments. If we look at their market segments for women's jeans, it's very similar to that of the men's market, focuses on style preferences, lifestyle, which is a psychographic factor, and income. And their ranges include things like Red Loop, Red Tab, Vintage, Surf Street, Skate, and more recently the commuter line of jeans, which has like reflector panels on the bottom. So when you're riding your bicycle, you can be seen. So they've really segmented things and developed a range. Even though they're all jeans, they're all slightly different with a slightly look and feel. Roxy, Billabong, and Rusty, they're more your surf type labels. They market on the basis of geographic location and age. They really look at teenage markets, looking for a coastal, casual, trendy look. And again, there's some links there that you can have a look at. R.M. Williams, Wranglers, Blue Dog, they seem to be a little bit more hardcore, and they target country, rural consumers. And they've stereotyped this, but they work about working the land, driving utes, and that kind of thing. And then you have designer labels jeans such as True Religion, which will frequently charge up to $500 a pair of jeans. They market on socioeconomic status and location, high income earners, and they're people who are very style and fashion conscious and class conscious. At the other end of the scale, we have discount jeans at Big W, Target, and Coles Mix, where you can pick up a pair of jeans for $30 or even less. I think Big W at one stage was selling jeans for less than $8 a pair. So once we've evaluated the segments and we worked out which ones we want to target, then we can look at market positioning, and that's the way in which target market segments perceive an organization's offering in relation to competing offerings. And the company positioning is, of course, then related not so much to a specific product, but the company overall. So if you think about how do you think about the different jeans in your mind, which in terms of which are stylish, which are cool, which are good value for money, maybe which are comfortable. So you can think in your mind, you can create a bit of a mind map and think, oh, where do they all fit together? Similarly with cars, if you're comparing Toyota versus Mazda versus Hyundai versus Skoda or Fiat or Citroën, they all have slightly different positioning in your mind. And brand positioning is a positioning strategy designed to create a market perception of a particular brand, usually based on product attributes. So that's where we are at now, at positioning. So you need to determine the positioning and then develop the marketing mix. So here's one of these perceptual maps of the Australian software industry, which I've taken from the textbook. So you can see how they've placed Roxy, Billabong, Rusty, and Quicksilver in different areas in terms of popularity, what this particular person thought about status and peer group, and the level of innovation. So you can see, that's where they're situated. So Billabong is probably closer to Roxy, for example, than Quicksilver in this map with these particular criteria, which can be, of course, useful if you're looking at a competitive analysis. Just some quick feedback too, just to finish up on with assessment 1. We've discussed this briefly today. Good effort overall. Remember to support your ideas with in-text references. So if you can, support and back up your ideas. It adds credibility. It also shows the reader that you're well informed. And then check your spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Check your marking matrix to make sure nothing's left out. Sometimes tasks are written and they're not totally clear in their actual instructions, but then when you look at your marking rubric, you'll see that, I did need to put in a recommendation, for example. And of course, we've already talked about assessment 2. This is just a reminder though that please contact me if you have any questions. This will save you time, energy, maybe stress. So drop me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So I hope you found this little video useful on segmentation, targeting, and then positioning. Of course, any questions, drop me a line. Don't forget to keep on track with your reading, work through your modules and your textbook. Thank you.